Okay, well, here we go. This is the first time I've seen this lot, and it's like Christmas, isn't it? And what have we got here? We're just looking at the very front part. This is the Glory Road cover that was quite significant in our relationship with Virgin Records, because there were a whole range of options produced by Simon Valley, great bloke, who was the production manager at Vernon Yard, and all these kind of rock, classical style album covers came up. We had got a rubber stamp with Gillan on it that we were using to for mail outs to the fans and general correspondence, and so I stamped that on a bit of paper and a bit of black paper, and it ended up being the cover. And the decision maker was Richard Branson, because he said, Richard, come in and have a look. What do you like out of these 4 covers? And he said that one straight away. So now what we got inside? Well, there it is. In fact, there is the album. It's Unchain Your Brain, the classic, I don't know what you'd call it, very fast. And the beginning of a long road with a great bunch of guys. Recorded at Kingsway Recorders, my studio in Holborn. And yeah, did quite well. That was actually the second record, I think. The first being this one, Mr. Universe. This photograph was taken on Brighton Beach at the end of a long day in the New Forest, and we went to the beach to get a blue background, and believe it or not, the ocean is up to my calves there. I'm actually standing in the water in a pair of Wellington boots, and my manager Phil Banfield says, concentrate on the camera, don't turn around to look at the ocean. When a wave comes in, when I say jump, jump, and it's been that way ever since. This record originally was with Acrobat, and we couldn't get arrested. It was a time of punk and whatever, and it was decided in the industry that our day was done. And so I sat with the managers in the office and went through the Kemp's directory one day, and went through every record company. They all told us to bugger off. No one was interested until we went back and called a company called Acrobat, who weren't in earlier, and they said, yeah, sure, we'll release it. They put it out. It went bang straight into the top 10, and would have been #1, but they ran out of copies because they hadn't paid their bill at the factory. And so there were no more copies available. They went bankrupt, and that was the end of them and our relationship with them. However, the phone didn't stop ringing from all the companies that had turned us down the week before. Called back and said, well, yeah, we'd like to sign you. And so that was the beginning of our relationship with Virgin, one of the great record companies. Oh, this is great stuff. The work that went into the covers in those days is what made vinyl so extra special. There was no alternative on the medium of the recording, because vinyl was it. And you were limited to 38 minutes maximum, optimum sound, because of the grooves, the technicalities. If you wanted to get the right amount of bass level, if you went over that, the needle would start jumping out of the grooves, and magic. This is not sequential now, but isn't that a great cover? Magic. See, no one bothers about covers now. They did for a while with CDs, but it was pretty pointless because you couldn't read anything really unless you made the letters like this, and that would take up the whole side of the CD. But lovely artwork. A thing to hold and savor. All the lyrics were in every cover, and I remember when I was a kid buying vinyl, and you'd take it home, unwrap it, look at the pictures and the artwork that the band had put into it. It was much more of a holistic approach. So you could read the lyrics as you listen to the music for the first time. You could see who was in the band, you could see who produced it, where it was produced. And then there'd be photographs of families and dogs or whatever the interest might be, or life on the road, all that sort of thing. What else we got here? Ah, yes. Now, this is an amazing cover. I do believe there's more in it than the sample I have here. Oh no, it's all here. Portraits of the band. Candid shots mixed with a load of photographs from a young artist agency that we decided were compatible with the title Future Shock. There's Bernie. The band photograph looking moody over maps and and stuff. Colin Towns and John McCoy. Mick Underwood. More candid photographs. And well, that's the interesting part. I think there's a bit of a rebellion went on when everyone saw the picture, because it's sort of supposed to be, I don't know what, but it makes us all look a bit weird anyway. Well, it's Future Shock, title nicked from a book by Alvin Toffler at the time, which was full of how exciting the future might be, but in fact was absolutely full of the bleeding obvious. Man, this is great. Of them all, this is my favourite, Double Trouble. And it's not because of the original songs, it's because this album contains live recordings as well. It's a double album, and it has some recordings from the Reading Festival, which is almost like home for the Gillan band. I played there 5 years on the trot, I think, opening up for Rory Gallagher on a Friday night the first time, and ending up headlining Saturdays, Sundays, and then did it again with Black Sabbath when I joined them. But the crowd at Reading was the best I've ever known in my life. The crowd in England, Scotland, the UK tours were amazing. And it was like a family. So when we did things like No Easy Way and No Laughing in Heaven, the crowd was almost louder than the band. So this is my favourite, but wow, what a collection. There we are, folks. 5 vinyl albums in one package. I'll leave them out and play them. Highly recommended.